Today's Q&A is about different community standards, and the question is as follows. The person says, some of my siblings live in Eretz Yisrael, the rest of us live different parts of the United States, and whenever we talk to each other and, think about compare notes, we find out that we all check our vegetables differently. Now, we all want to do the right thing, and we all, follow what direction we get from our rabbis, but why are we getting different directions? Shouldn't we all be doing the same thing? So, the answer is like this. There are some rabbis out there who are not on top of, the latest and greatest of what's going on. And they still talk about, whatever they learned 30 years ago or however long ago. But that's that's not probably what you're talking about. I'm assuming that the people who you're in touch with and who are directing you are in touch with updated issues and with the methods and what people do nowadays. And even so, there are three possible reasons why there might be differences from one community to the next. The first is, there are different opinions, rabbinic opinions, about which bugs are considered so small that they're considered not visible to the naked eye. Bugs that are not visible to the naked eye don't have to be taken away, don't have to be removed. You can eat, so to speak, eat them. So if a community where the rabbis take a stricter stand on that will be doing more intense cleaning because they want to make sure they get rid of even those smaller bugs. Others who are taking a more lenient approach on that will say, well, we don't need to get rid of those bugs, and therefore we could do less of a cleaning because we only have to get rid of the larger ones that we're worried about. Okay, now obviously we're not going to talk today about what that shaila is involved and the different parts of that question, but it is something that plays a role in a lot of decisions of how to check certain vegetables or what to do with them. Okay, a second difference might be between one community and the next has to do with where they are and what the weather and the climate are like where they are. Bugs are very much affected. The amount of bugs in vegetables is very much affected by the weather, the climate in the area in general, the season part of the year. And therefore, what works in one city may not be true in the next place. For example, lots of people, just about everybody knows that there are bugs in broccoli. But there was a time that there was a very reputable hechsher that their hashgacha on frozen broccoli was almost completely based on the fact that this broccoli grew in a very cold mountainous region where basically there were no bugs in the broccoli. So it wasn't that it's not that the same thing applies every place. In some place it could be very infested, and someplace else things might be different, and therefore what works in one city may not work in a different country or a different city where the vegetables have different amounts of bugs in them. The last reason why there might be a difference between one place and the next is that there are some insects that are not coming into the food from the fields. Rather, they develop because of poor storage conditions. Particularly for like grain and pasta, if you keep them for a long time in dark, damp storage places, then bugs will develop in them. Even if they had no bugs coming in, when they were coming from the farm. So in a community where that is an issue, then the rabbis might say that all the flour has to be sifted, or all the quinoa has to be, checked. The rice has to be checked to make sure that there are no bugs in it. In another city where these kind of bugs that come from storage are not concerned, they would tell you no reason to do it at all. You could just eat it as is. So that's a third reason why there might be a difference, between one community and the next. You could hear from what I'm saying that there could be very much a big difference from one place and the next, and therefore the proper thing for people to do is turn to their local community rabbis and ask them for direction on what's proper for us living in this location with the issues that we face.